Hi, hello. Welcome to a new series I want to start. I'll play a full game with all 32 teams in the NHL, and by the end of it, I'm going to let you know who my favorite teams are, favorite players are from those teams, and since my favorite team is Detroit Red Wings, we're going to start with them. Also, in these videos, I'm going to talk about new happenings with these teams, how they're doing so far in the season. Obviously, some are going to be further into the season than others, but I mean, the Detroit Red Wings might be the most surprising team so far in the NHL season. I mean, what you're looking at 5-1-1. I don't know that anyone saw this coming. Alright, sorry about that. Some dad was playing, his little girl was screaming. Couldn't take that, but anyways, yeah, the Red Wings are 5-1-1, and it kind of looks like Yzerman's plan is coming to fruition. He's obviously doesn't have the best track record. Well, he does, but also he has some contracts that he signed, as in Ben Sherratt and Justin Joel, that looked bad. But I mean, those guys are playing pivotal roles on the blue line. You look at him. I know Ben Sherratt had a horrible season last season, but he's really bouncing back and is playing really well defensively. His offensive game is coming along a little bit, which is something I didn't see coming at all. I mean, this guy is a bruiser. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's a bruiser. He loves mixing it up in the corners, in front of the net, fighting people. But you can see him from the blue line. You think he had an assist to someone last night. And yeah, it was a tip and assist, but what are you going to do about it? Like, those are things you want from all your defensemen, to be able to fire it from the point and find those deflections. And it's kind of making that contract look a little better now. I think he's getting paid like 4 point something million, which is obviously still too much for Ben Sherratt. But I like him. I think he's playing well. I think Justin Joel's playing better. They were saying that on the broadcast in Toronto, he was brought into like being everything defenseman. That's just not what he is. He's that stay-home defenseman who's going to give you good defensive work. Can log 15 minutes per night, and for a second pairing defenseman behind Seider, it's exactly what he's doing. He's playing great so far this season. Someone else is playing great this season, Alex DeBrincat. Oh my goodness, we brought this guy in for a first-round pick. Dominic Kubalik, which is, I mean, that's nothing. Like, the only reason he put up the numbers he did was because he was playing on Detroit's first power play, which, let's be honest, he had no business playing on there. He was expendable, and I saw some people saying, "Oh, why would you get rid of this guy?" I mean, he had inflated stats. It's the perfect move by Steve Yzerman. Why would you not move a guy like that? You know. But yeah, I think he's got 6 goals in 7 games, or maybe 7 and 7. Ah, man, the rebound goal, a little cheeky action. He's got 6, 7 goals in 7 games. You know, you can't ask for much more than that guy from that guy, and it looks like he's got great chemistry with. A setup man, and you can really see that to start the season out. You know, on the power play, he's saucing these passes right into the slot, right where they need to be. He's a true playmaker on the power play, and I love it. And you can even see that in like Shane Gossersper's game, another new addition to this team. He he's got a couple power play points so far, and he's really quarterbacking that power play nice. Being a true scoring threat too. You know, he's I think he had a one-timer last night, and it was just absolutely wicked. I mean, this guy, he might not be able to defend, but he can absolutely be a contributor on your power play, on a number one power play too. Red Wings got a number one power play in the league at the moment, which is crazy. Didn't think I'd ever be saying that, but I think that's a note to the head coach too. You know, New Zealand brought this guy in. I didn't know what to think. He just didn't look like a hockey guy. Oh, don't go in. He just didn't look like a hockey guy, but you can see his players are playing. You know, they're playing hard. And from Jeff Blashill a couple years ago, you just did not see that. They played ultra defensive. It was so boring to watch. And now these guys are leading the league in scoring. They got the best power play in the league, and their defense is still decent. I know they lost to the Kraken in overtime, but I think the refs had a little bit to do with that. That was I thought a poorly officiated game. There's definitely some calls that should have been made that weren't. It happens in every game, but I feel like they showed up a little more prevalently in that one. Oh, DeBrincat, you got to get out the way. But Seattle's a good team. You know, I think they started out the season kind of slow, but I mean, we're talking about a playoff team from last year that did nothing but add pieces. You know, you can't discredit that team even if they have a slow start. I'm trying to think of another team who had a slow start, but like I feel like all the teams at the top have had they start their season well. I mean, the St. Louis Blues, when they went on their cup run, they were not good to start the season. They were considered the worst team in the NHL for a while there, and then they just picked it up like after the trade deadline or something. That's pretty insane. Not saying Seattle was going to go on and win the cup, but do I see them making the playoffs in a weaker division, especially if Edmonton keeps to struggle, which I think there's a good possibility that they do. That's just a little hot take. I'll talk about that when I play with the Oilers. I think that's next up. I think they're next up in the list. But, yeah, Red Wings have exceeded almost every expectation I've had for them going into the season, you know. I'm trusting Steve Yzerman. The stars are coming out to play. DeBrincat, Larkin. These guys are... I think DeBrincat and Larkin are top 3 in scoring in the entire NHL. Why would you just do that? Or don't nobody go to the net. Just that's awesome. Someone just move out of the way. But yeah, when you got 2 guys in the top 3 of scoring in the entire National Hockey League, it's a pretty good start. You know, I'd say that's pretty successful so far. But obviously I expect them to come down to earth a little bit. I think they can make the playoffs. Probably as a wild card team, though. You look at the division they're in, and you still got Boston. Boston starting 6-0 again. Insane with losing the center depth that they did in Bergeron and Krejci. But, yeah, they're 6-0. Look at the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs are going to be a force this year. It looks like Austin Matthews is back to doing Austin Matthews things, which is scoring at will. Jeez, dude started out the season with 2 hat tricks. Absolutely insane. But why are you hustling so hard, dude? You're on the penalty kill. Alright, let's turn it on him. So fast. Stupid dives. But, yeah, who else in that division? Tampa Bay. I expect them to bounce back. They started off slow, but, like, they're missing the best goaltender in the league, in my opinion. I mean, come on, Vasilevsky is... He's the best. Andrew's playing good this year, Sorokin, Shesterkin, but if you say anyone other than Vasilevsky, you're wrong. I'm sorry to tell you. Sorry to hurt your feelings if it does, but that's just how it is. Disgusting. Oh, come on. I'd love to get a goal on the board, man. I can't score right now. I don't know if it's because I'm talking or what, but I usually don't play while I'm talking. Or it's just different than HUD. I play a lot of HUD, and that right there, what I did with the Brinket, is that's how you score in HUD. You go across. I gotta get that pass off. But, I mean, even guys like, I think our second line is Comfer, Kopp, and Rasmussen. Those guys are playing real well. Talk about Kopp and Comfer, you know, they're basically the same player. One just shoots left, one shoots right. Oh my god, look at the stats. 19 to 5 shot. I'm working this guy. Come on. But, yeah, you look at even that line. You can match them. I think you can match that lineup with any line in the NHL, maybe except Colorado's first line, because that's just stupid, especially if they get Landeskog back, which I don't think they're gonna. But yeah, you can match that lineup against anyone in the league and probably have good defensive success. And they're scoring. You know, you got Kopp and Comfer. They're contributing on offense, which I like to see. Kopp had a down year. I know he was hurt, but yeah, I'm very excited to see what the rest of the season brings. I think I want to talk about so many teams, but I know I have other videos to make. Oh, okay, here's one. Ville Husso is a good goaltender, but throughout the season, I am very unsure if he's going to be able to be that long-term option. I know we signed him to a 4-year, 5-year deal, and I like it. You know, he's a good goaltender. I don't think he's a all-star caliber goaltender matched up against some of the other guys, but I think he's going to be a very good holding spot until Sebastian Cossa comes up. And if you don't know about Sebastian Cossa, let me tell you something. He is about 6'6", and can move as good as any goaltender in the league. You know, if he gets that, I guess, positioning and vision, if he upgrades that, we could be looking at a future Vezina winner, especially if Steve Yzerman keeps prioritizing defense like he does. I don't see any reason why Cossa can't be a perennial all-star, because because he's got all the intangibles. When they picked him, I wanted him to pick Jesper Wallstedt because I thought his technique was flawless, and I was watching him. I mean, his highlights in the draft, the kid was 17, but his technique was just amazing. And there's yeah, he was a first round pick for a reason. He went to the Wild. That's probably the only thing I think. You got to go back one more time. I think Steve Yzerman could have missed if Kosa doesn't pan. All right, bro. If Kosa doesn't pan out and Wallstedt does, I think people are going to look at that and say, "Oh, Steve Yzerman missed," obviously. But it's the draft, everybody misses. You're not going to hit on every pick, but I think goaltender's one you kind of have to hit on. Especially if you're going first round. I can get taking the talent or the intangibles, I guess, but when you see a guy with just technique that beats everyone else's by a mile, I don't know, that just screams to me, pick him, ignore the intangibles for the technique. I'm a big technique guy. I love when I can watch a player just missed a goal. That's awesome. I can't score. I don't know how to score in Play Now. I haven't played much of it this year. I like playing, but like trying to get shots, trying to get different angle shots. I don't know if it's all about. All right, well, I mean, speaking of scoring goals, get a little greaser of my own. But yeah, I don't know if it's just if there's a certain spot you kind of got to aim for, or what. But I have not found it yet. And I kind of would like to, because I should be beating this guy by... Okay, well that's something you can do, but like that doesn't happen very often. It's kind of lucky. I don't know if they just gassed up Aiden Hill. He had a good Stanley Cup playoff, but like... Are we really talking about Aiden Hill as an elite goaltender? I don't think so. But see, even then, it's like, maybe I just have to pick my spots. I actually got to go for snipes, not the cheese. Maybe it's not about the cheese this year. But how can it not be? In every NHL I've ever played, it's been about that one way to score. This guy's pretty bad, though. I mean, I guess more ice to skate with. But yeah, this guy's pretty bad. I am ashamed of myself. I'm only up 1-0. I mean, shout out to him for keeping it close, but like, I think it's really about his goalie keeping him in it. Feel bad he's dead. He probably just got done working his 9 to 5. And he just trying to play some video games. He's going up against, not a sweat. I'm not a sweat. But if I have to be, I can be. And people mistake sweating for trying sometimes. I mean, you got those people who are downright sweats, but I mean, if you're trying hard, I wouldn't call that sweating. Just call that wanting to be good. Anyways, let's dial in. 34 seconds left. Yep, definitely want it in your hands. Just that last little move. Ooh, good pickoff. One touch. Cross. Nah, bad pass. That was bad pass. Looking like the 2019 Red Wings won like 14 games that year. Get bodied. Nah, it's got to be a bigger hit. I like the hitting mechanics they have this year. I think they're so good. Like when you lay into a guy, he goes flying. He falls down. He doesn't recover fast. It's the biggest thing. When he used to hit a guy, he would get up so fast, and then he'd get the puck back. So it's like, really, what was the point of hitting him? But this year, it kind of seems like they toned that down a little bit, which is really nice. Because if a guy gets leveled, he ain't getting right back up. On a 4-on-3 shot. Can someone go to the front of the net? I'm trying to get a deflection because I can't score any other way. That's one thing. The AI is still trash. AI don't know what they're doing. Get there, Sider. Of course you're not going to beat Jack Eichel there. Alright, let's go for a skate to brink it. That is Psych. Raymond. This guy loves to trip. Man, in overtime, they need to extend overtime. Tell me. What is it, 5 minutes? Regular periods are 4 minutes, so overtime's a minute long in real time. It's not enough. I need more than that. You can barely switch lines with that. That was a horrible shot. Definitely not where I put that, but okay. Also, skating backwards is horrible in this game. You can't move for shit. Wow, look at the brinket. Playing the body, 15 seconds. See if we can wheel one. There we go. Alright. I'll take it. Not very happy about that ending, but what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Competitive rating +8, yes sir. Don't really care. Well, alrighty, that was the Red Wings. So I'll see you guys in the next one.